Yo, what's good, y'all? Steve's here back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to get better at defense. We're going to be going over things like scheme, user, switch sticking, everything. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into this video. So I feel like the one biggest question people have is, what playbook do you use? What play do you use? How do I get a good defensive play? The best playbook, in my opinion, is either Carolina or the 49ers defense. And the play we're going to be using is out of Nickel 2-4 DBL Mug, and it's called Nickel Dog 3 Buzz. At the selected play screen, you're going to hit triangle or Y on Xbox. It's going to bring up the manual substitution screen where you can substitute any player that you want. Y is Josh Allen, one of my D tackles. So what we're going to do, and stay with me on this because this is a very weird setup, we are going to replace these two inside linebackers with what we will have as pass rushers. So I'm actually going to have Jabril Peppers and Leo Chanel as pass rushers on the inside. Then we want to put our user defenders on the outside here. So Nick Bolton was one of my middle linebackers. We'll put him as the edge rusher, and then the other edge rusher will be Divine Diablo. Now that automatically moves Max Crosby and Julius Peppers inside to D tackle, which is exactly what I want. So now that we have that set up, we're going to pick Nickel Dog 3 Buzz. We'll pick a random bunch play because bunch is very popular, and this is the setup that you're going to have. Now this is why we have the users as the edge rushers, because they are in flats. So all you're going to do to set up this play, left D-pad, left stick down, left D-pad, right stick down, and it is set up. So as you can see, everybody is blitzing now. We do not want all these people blitzing. We want zones. All we're going to do is we're going to set up the defense kind of like this. We're going to put a vert hook on the slot corner and hard flats on those user defenders. Those are just quick adjustments, and really all you're doing is you're just double tapping buttons that correspond with positional groups. So triangle corresponds to DB groups, right D-pad corresponds to linebackers, and then left D-pad corresponds to defensive line. And then you'll see this little screen at the bottom with the buttons over top of the players. You just pick a player and then you have an assignment that you can manually give them. When you're watching competitive and pro players, this is how they're making adjustments. They're not moving around and manually doing adjustments like this. They are doing these quick adjustments because it is the fastest way to get adjustments off. So try to familiarize yourself with this. Try to get better at making manual adjustments, even if it's just like one manual adjustment per play. Get used to doing that, because that is how you make quick adjustments. Like if I wanted to put a manual cover 2 on this right side, I could do this with manual adjustments, and that's how quick it took me to put that cover 2 over there. In other terms, if I was to try to go ahead and do it manually, it would take me a little bit longer. And the other bad thing about that is I might get stuck on a defender that I don't want to be on, which means I would screw up my user in the play. And then mainly we're going to user this safety unless you need to user somebody else. And then you can bring the safety up to the middle right here, but you don't really have to. But as you can see, it generates pretty good pressure for a 4-man rush. Now, the pressure in Madden 25 is not good at all. This is somehow the only good defensive play to generate pressure. And if you play any online game mode, you will probably run into this play because it is literally the only good play, because sometimes it just gets crazy pressures just like that, how Max Crosby came screaming in. And yes, if you were to blitz another person, it probably is going to come in a lot faster. As you can see, Julius Peppers literally just screamed right up the A-gap right there. What the fuck? Is this a better way to run it? Holy shit. And there are other ways that you can run this defense if you want. You can actually just straight up put hard flats on the field and run it like this, and it'll get crazy ass pressure like this. Like, he literally did not even get blocked right there. But if you're facing an opponent that's somewhat decent at the game, they'll figure out pass protection against this. But if you want good pressure, this is really the only play that's going to get you that. Now, another tip for defense is don't bank on just running this play every single time. If it's working and your opponent is not adjusting to it and he can't figure it out, keep running it. Do it until he figures it out. But when you're facing somebody that's good at the game and they know how to stop this and counter it, you're going to need to make adjustments. So don't stick into this play every single time. Don't run this exact setup every single time. You're going to want to make adjustments to this. You're going to want to maybe man up somebody. Maybe you want to blitz more people. Maybe you want to say fuck it and you want to literally send everybody. Honestly, just do not be static in your play calling. Don't sit there and just run the same thing over and over and over again. If it's not working, you're going to need to make adjustments. You're going to need to maybe switch it to mid blitz. Go to straight man coverage, try to get some pressure off of that. A lot of newer players don't understand what a user is. Usering simply just refers to the player that you will be controlling throughout the play. And I'm telling you right now, get your ass off of the D line and get on a zone and start usering the field. And the reason I say this is because usering a zone or man defender is the best way to make your opponent think about what they're throwing. And also, AI defenders, they don't play shit. So that's why you need to be good at usering, because you can actually influence passing decisions from your opponent. If you want to win more games, you need to practice usering. And honestly, the best way to practice usering, either just get in practice mode or honestly just get into real games and practice usering there, because that is the most effective way to practice usering, is against real people that will be making real reads. Now, a very key thing to usering this year, and it is probably the most impactful thing I think they've ever added in this game, is the use of the switch stick. The switch stick is honestly one of the best things I think they have ever added. It is so useful if you know how to use it, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. When you are on a zone or man defender, and this is why I also say do not get on the D line, do not be on a blitzer. If you are on a person that is in zone or man coverage, you are able to switch stick. And basically all you do is when the play is snapped, you use the right stick and flick it in whatever direction you want to go to, and it will switch you on to the nearest defender that you flick the right stick towards. So when they hike this ball, I'll show you, I'll just kind of flick my stick around, pause. As you can see, I'm flicking my right stick around and it's letting me switch to the defender that I switched to. So he keeps throwing this backside dig. So I'm going to take my user over here and I'm going to switch stick him right here, and you'll see. Switch stick it to Nick Bolton on this linebacker, and now I take over the linebacker and I can user him around. And I think you can already see why this is such an important tool to use, because that can be so effective against an opponent. If you know what read he is going to make, he's been doing it all game, he's going to throw this corner right here, I can just flip to Richard Sherman quickly and go make a play on the ball. And plus, not to mention, you can put players in different zones and you can put them at different parts of the field, which also affect the way that the quarterback is reading the field. I like how this man is just casually getting screamed at as I'm trying to show this shit. And honestly, those are probably the most key things on defense to getting you better at the game. And honestly, my final tip to you would just be get into games, start practicing these things, start using that play, because it is by far the best play. I will say, I think they are going to patch it so it doesn't come in as glitchy as that, but it is definitely the best pressure that you can generate to make your opponents struggle offensively. Other than that, man, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I helped you out in some way to get you better at Madden. If you guys have any specific ideas for me to make videos kind of like this, make sure to put it in the comments down below. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe before this video ends. Yes, I mean you watching the video. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Appreciate y'all for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.